fisherman for 30 years.
Start again, sorry.
I've been a fisherman for 30 years. I hardly think there's anyone in the panel has got enough time in the day that would make me change my mind to vote to stay in the Union when we have been discriminated for the last 40 years.
And if the UK voted out, what would the consequence be for you?
We'd be in power and our own destiny. We could make the choices that benefit Scotland or even the United Kingdom. In 2002, there were 525 whitefish boats in Scotland. Today, there's 125. But yet, the European Union gave grants to Spain to build a fleet that in 2022 will be able to fish between 50 yards just outside the beach, outside that front door.
And Hamza, you want to stay in despite that?
Yeah, I mean, I'll come to the... Well, I'll address the fisherman's point first.
Yeah,
sure. I will address it. And look, I've got plenty of problems and issues with the common fisheries policy, just as much as you will. But let me say this, that the problem with the UK government negotiating on our behalf, if they're not negotiating well, my suggestion would be get somebody else to negotiate on our behalf and get rid of the Prime Minister and change your government as opposed to come out of Europe as a solution to it. But what I would say is that UK government...
But the SNP wants to
stay in
Europe.
Government. Let me just finish the point that successive UK governments have done this. When Cabinet Papers came out to reveal the 1970s, of course we saw, and I'll quote the exact words, that Scottish fishing by the UK government was seen as expendable.
That's right.
That is utterly atrocious. Now, if you didn't have the European Union and every country was going for it alone, yes, within quotas, but managing their own quotas, then I'm not convinced that you would have a fishing industry to pass on to the next generation, and the next. But let me try to address the issue that was made by Chris.
You made his point.
No, I don't agree with him, because even in an independent Scotland, you would maybe have 13 representatives in Europe in a parliament of 770. How would you get your point of view across?
Jim Sellers, what do you say? Let's just stick with... We're in Aberdeen, we've got a fishing port. Let's just stick with the point for a moment. Jim, what do you say?
Yes. One of the advantages of Brexit is that when the UK comes out, responsibility for fisheries and agriculture goes to the Parliament at Holyrood. That means for the first time since we joined the EU, we would have our own fisheries policy in relation to our own resources and our own fleet. That's one of the huge advantages.
OK. You want to carry on?